While the M&M gang was fixing Mr. Good's house, Mr. Good thought of his Aunt Almond. Mr. Good knew that Aunt Almond had never heard about Jesus, but Mr. Good was scared to see his Aunt Almond for two reasons. First of all, she was kind of grouchy, and secondly, Aunt Almond lived right smack in the middle of the great dark chocolate forest. What do you suppose the great dark chocolate forest looked like? It was very dark, not just a little bit dark, but dark, with all the scary sounds and things that go along with dark. Mr. Good told Mr. Peppermint all about his Aunt Almond and the great dark chocolate forest.
You don't have to be scared anymore, Mr. Good. Jesus is always with you. He goes with you everywhere you go.
I'm still scared, though.
I know a great verse. Hebrews 13:5b. I will never leave thee. Here's a neat way to remember it. Hold out your hand. Now start with your pinky and say one word for each finger. I will never leave thee. Now point your thumb to you. Jesus promises to never leave us, even when it's dark. You don't have to be scared anymore because you're never by yourself. Jesus is always with you.
Oh, that makes me feel a lot better. Goodbye, Mr. Peppermint. Goodbye, M&Ms.
It was a beautiful day. The birds were singing. The sun was bright. Mr. Good was just so happy. But suddenly, off in the distance, Mr. Good saw the great, dark chocolate forest. Mr. Good started to feel a little scared. The closer he got to the great, dark chocolate forest, the more scared he was. When Mr. Good finally reached the edge of the great, dark chocolate forest, he was so scared that he was shaking. Mr. Good totally forgot his verse. I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Just as Mr. Good was about to turn around and go home, he looked down and saw his hand. Suddenly he remembered his verse.
I will never leave thee. Hebrews 13:5b.
Right then and there, Mr. Good prayed.
Dear Jesus, I'm so scared to go into the dark chocolate forest. It's too dark and spooky. Please be with me and help me not to be so scared. Amen.
After Mr. Good prayed, he felt better, so he started off again. Every time he heard something scary, he repeated his verse.
I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Hebrews 13:5b.
By the time Mr. Good reached his Aunt Almond's house, he was even singing to himself just a little bit. As Mr. Good knocked on Aunt Almond's door, he thought to himself,
Oh, I hope she's in a good mood today.
What do you want? If you're selling something, I don't want it.
It's your nephew, Mr. Good. I have some good news I want to share with you.
Nobody has good news for me. Nobody even cares about me.
Aunt Almond, that's not true. Jesus loves you and cares about you, and so do I.
Then Mr. Good told Aunt Almond about John 3:16 and how Jesus loves her so very much. Well, right then and there, Aunt Almond bowed her head and asked Jesus to save her. After she finished praying, something strange happened. Aunt Almond smiled. She even laughed a little bit. And then she told her nephew,
Oh, nephew, I'm so happy. Jesus does love me. I think I'm going to change my name. Now you can call me Aunt Joy.
Boys and girls, have you ever been scared? God promises to never leave us. Hey, Red, do you remember our verse?
Hebrews 13:5b. I will never leave thee. Whenever you get scared, remember this verse. Are you ever sad? When you know Jesus, he can make you happy.